Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. You're looking at a couple of photos of that mysterious balloon that was in the sky above the Hawaiian Islands for 2 or 3 weeks. Photo on the left by Frederick, photo on the right by Ashley Kay. Both photos in broad daylight, and it almost looks like something inside the balloon in a fetal position, and it doesn't look like it has a payload on the bottom of the balloon. You can always see those, especially in the daylight hours. The balloon has disappeared from the Hawaiian skies. I'm over here at flightradar.com, and I've been seeing the balloon over here for the last 2 or 3 weeks around the Hawaiian Islands. Now I see routine airplane and helicopter traffic, and the balloon appears to have relocated above the Dallas-Fort Worth area in Texas. Reasons unknown. I have no idea the origins of the balloon and don't know where it's going. All I do know is moving slowly from west to east. Yesterday it was above western Texas. Now it's above the Dallas-Fort Worth area, no longer above the Hawaiian Islands. Yesterday was the full moon, and it was also visible from satellite in space. Check this out. Not something you see every day. This is kind of rare. This is the Himawari satellite. I use this for tracking storms and various weather conditions around the world. And I happened to notice that it captured the full moon yesterday on the 18th, right up there around the 10, 11 o'clock position. Did you see it very briefly? That's pretty rare. It doesn't show up on here very often. That's not a rogue planet or anything nefarious. That is simply the full moon visible from space. This satellite is positioned between the sun and the earth, and you can see every once in a while the full moon shows up in the field of view. And this was one of those times. I look at this every month, have for many, many years, and it's not very often that it just happens to catch a glimpse of the full moon as it's passing behind the earth from this field of view. Once again, the sun is behind this spacecraft looking at the earth, and that's the moon behind the earth in full moon form. Yesterday, the 18th, was 100% illumination. Coming over here to the website, quick look at the Schumann resonance. All in all, pretty quiet. Been pretty quiet now for the last 3 or 4 days. Planetary K index, still quiet. We're waiting on the arrival of the CME. Once the CME arrives, we'll start to see activity over here at the Planetary K index. Looking at the Sahara sand, it's getting larger, moving farther north. It now occupies the entire Mediterranean Sea with a thick plume of Sahara sand. It's up in southern Ireland, that too being a very thick plume of sand, again making its way north, making its way west. Looks like this sand is going to be around for a long, long time. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano. A little bit of earthquake activity on the eastern side of the caldera around the Yellowstone Lake. You can see some small earthquake activity, but nevertheless, that's earthquake activity at a supervolcano, and that's kind of a big deal. We always keep a close eye on that. Back to the moon, NASA has moved the giant rocket over to the launching pad. They're going to run some experiments. It's not scheduled to officially launch until 2024, and the name of the mission is Artemis 1, 2, and 3, and the name Artemis goes back to Greek mythology. That would be the name of the daughter of Zeus, one of the daughters of Zeus, and the sister of Apollo. Coming up on March 21st, the spring equinox is less than 2 days away. The sun will be exactly at the equator of Earth, and we will attempt to verify that by satellite. The sun should be exactly over Ecuador, and that's one way of verifying if the sun and the Earth are in the right locations. On the 21st, the sun should be directly above Ecuador, which is right at the equator, and then it will slowly move north towards the western Sahara, the highest point it makes in the northern hemisphere, and that would be our summertime. The southern hemisphere is wintertime, and the sun will be in this location right here, and that dust is going to continue, like I said, for several weeks, probably months. Who knows? It could go on for the rest of the year. Hurricane season begins in June, and here are the names of the potential storms in the Atlantic Ocean: Alex, Bonnie, Colin, Danielle, Earl, and Fiona. I have these 3 highlighted in red: Gaston, Hermine, and Ian. Julia, Carl, Lisa, Martin, Nicole, Owen, Paula, Richard, Sherry, Tobias, Virginie, and Walter. I don't know if we'll get all the way through this list. Probably won't be a record-setting season, but then again, you never know. It could be a record setter, but I don't think so. From what I've read so far, it's predicted to be slightly above average, but that could include a lot of unnamed storms as well. I have these three highlighted in red because it seems like the major hurricanes always kind of end up in this area, in the G, H, I, J, K, sometimes M. We had Hurricane Michael, Katrina, Irma. They seem to form in that part of the list of names, and I have those highlighted in red. Those are ones that I'm watching for the formation of a possible major hurricane out of one, maybe all three. Doesn't necessarily mean that they'll make landfall, though, but they could become major hurricanes. Okay, I want to take you guys down to Coconut Creek, Florida. Received a photo and a video of a mysterious object in the nighttime sky from Amina, and you can see it right here. She took this photo. Now you're going to see a video of that object up in the sky. It's kind of all by itself, and it is moving slightly. Never seen anything quite like this. Neither had she. That's what compelled her to take this video. Wasn't making any noise. It was just kind of hovering in the sky somewhere around maybe 300-400 feet near Coconut Creek, Florida. And I take the original here and I enhance it in several different formats, trying to pull forward any type of features of this unusual object in the nighttime sky. She'd never seen anything like it, and to be quite honest, I've never seen one quite like this either. See things all the time, or you guys see things all the time in the not only nighttime sky, but daytime sky, but I've never seen anything quite like this. Definitely very unique, and as you're going to see, it appears to be oblong, almost like a long, right there, a long tic-tac. This format here shows us there's definitely something physical up in the sky. Not only the lights, but there's something oblong up there. That's what compelled her to take the video and the photo. It just looked out of place. Wasn't anything else in the sky. In fact, it was kind of cloudy. You couldn't even see any stars. The moon wasn't out. Just this object hovering in the sky above Coconut Creek, Florida. Great job, guys. Keep the photos coming. If you have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.